Well, let's get this shindig on. Okay, as you can see, Glenn Monroe here, Roman Gnome, or Dr. Glenn Monroe, Minister, Responder, National Weather Service Field Correspondent. As you can see down here, we have something called Laetiporus sulphureus, which is also known as the sulfur-colored sulfur shelf. That's what we call them. It's a fungi. It's edible, and this is the last week of August. And as you can see here, I have a pretty good amount, and it's edible. And what's really cool is I just ate one of these, a portion of this raw, and some of these you can't eat raw, especially if you drink alcohol or coffee or certain other things that don't go well with it. I am a pretty much a staunch herbivore. I don't eat animals and drink a lot of, processed stuff. Basically, I'm all natural. I try to be. And this is what we're going to look at today. I want to show you this. I see this very rarely because it only grows where I'm at in small amounts. And as you can see, this is a pretty large amount right here. This is the back side. This is the bracket. This is the bracket side right here. And side view. Notice the color in the middle. Okay, sulfur on top, porous on the bottom. That's why we don't want to confuse this with the like jack-o'-lantern or the, let's see, what was the other? They kind of look like a cross, it looks like a lobster. That's in the ground. Those grow in the ground. There's the chanterelles, but it's not time for them. It's a little past. They might be popping up still here and there, but these grow actually on the actual trunk, and I'll show some video footage of that. But I wanted to show this because they're edible. You can eat them, and this is a large amount. I've probably got here maybe 6-7 pounds. This one right here feels like it weighs about 2. And we're gonna have this with some well, I'm just probably gonna steam these, but I did try one of these raw. Okay, some of these you can't eat raw. Like I said, if you drink alcohol or certain foods, or if you have certain bacteria problems with your stomach, because fungi, especially yeast, they this is a fungi, so is a yeast, but this is the king of the fungi, I guess. They're going to tell each other what to do. So anyhow, I don't have a problem with this. I've eaten this about an hour ago, and I haven't felt any adverse effects yet. I've eaten several types of fungi raw and gotten away with it. I actually feel better. But just to be on the safe side, right? For all you, usually what I do is I just brush all this stuff off, cut the harder part off, and I just steam it. I lightly steam it. Just chop it up. And what does it taste like? It tastes better than it tastes kind of like a shiitake, actually. For maitake, they kind of taste similar to me. But we have a lot of varieties that grow here in the Ozarks. I'm in the Ozarks, in case y'all didn't know that. And this is one, like I said, when I go foraging, we have trees, plants, and fungi. So right now I'm doing the fungi thing. But as you can see, I have a good amount, so we're going to eat. But this is what it looks like. It grows like this out of the side of the tree. This is the top view. Okay. This is basically what it would look like from the front. This is the underside, and notice, like I said, it's porous. It doesn't have, gills or anything like that. It's pretty solid. It's not mushy. It's pretty rubbery. You thump it, it's gonna go one little wrong. It's got some, it's got a little rigidity to it, a little bounce. But that's pretty much what you're looking for. And like I said, I haven't had a problem with it. I don't eat large amounts of this stuff raw. What I more than likely will do is steam this and chop it up in my salad. Usually I mix it with kale, spinach, chard, cut up some little bell peppers, little orange juice, lemon juice on top. That's it. That's what I eat. I'm pretty much, like I said, pure herbivore. But yeah, so there you go. I wanted to share this with you. I will post the actual our local regional office for what we do for the state for mycology and botanicals, so that way you'll get the correct nomenclature. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And like I said, I'll go ahead and post the other video footage that goes with this. But it's the end of August. This is 2017. And we also have the Pleurotus austratus, which is the oyster mushroom. And I have video footage of that, which I'm going to show you. And one of the largest ones I've ever seen is about this big. And that's pretty interesting too, because there's a lot of cultivators and people on this in this region that use these fungi, and they do things with it for also bioremediation and health care and cancer remediation and things like that. So that's something else y'all need to, you know, kind of look into. But I'm just into the foraging and food aspect of it, you know. But I wanted to go ahead and put this video footage up, so for those of you that are in the area or from here, we'll have a good idea of, hey, what is this stuff? It's brightly colored. Like I said, it's sulfur colored. You can't miss it, okay? Just make sure it has, you know, it's got striations in there. It's pretty solid, it's porous. Just make sure you properly identify all trees, plants, and fungi before you use it for food or beverages or any kind of hygiene. So there you go. Anyway, with that, like I said, I'll put some kind of a video footage together, you know, just to get this point across. But yeah, that was one of the largest amounts I've gotten so far for this this species of fungi. And if you don't know too much about trees, plants, and fungi, I encourage you to, you know, walk out among nature occasionally and check it out. Be naturalized. And there's plenty of people on this planet and resources that you can get available. And hey, I don't know it all, but what I do know will probably get you far. Laetiporus sulphureus. I hope I said that right, because I'm not Latin. You know, I'm not a Swiss scientist. Anyway, we call it, what I call it is the sulfur shelf. Everybody else around here calls it chicken. Well, there's 4 of them that are called chickens. You know, all the country people that were called Americans or Americans came through here. They all called it chicken. It tastes like chicken. It doesn't taste like chicken, okay? It tastes like shrooms. But a lot of these shrooms, these mushrooms, the fungi and things like that, they have high amounts of protein and beneficial minerals and electrolytes and other goodies in them that are, well, they're good for you and they help you out. I'm not a chemical analyst or what we call a isometric, you know, specialist. I don't break it all down and get the microscope out, you know, and try to analyze all the chemicals and the composition. I'm not a compositionalist chemist or anything, you know, but I am just basically, you know, a native that lives here. I specialize in foraging, first response, and sometimes fighting. But this is what I want to let you know is, like, when we live out here among nature, we live naturally. This would be a naturally occurring food supply seasonally, depending on whether the weather changes, right? It's the season. So certain places this would actually be available all year round. But right now it's August, so that would be fall, and we have September coming up, so this would probably be available for the next 2 or 3 weeks. If you live anywhere near me or you live in an environment that's close to my my climate zone. So with that, I think Wikipedia's got some pretty good information on mycology for this species. It even gives the, like I said, the chemical breakdowns and things like that if you're one of those people who really need to find some varieties of food with, you know, basically something that you need for your particular situation. Maybe you're overcoming an illness or a disease, or you don't feel good. I don't do that. What I do is I just eat it. You know, if it helps me, it helps me. Other than that, I'm getting fed, right? It can't hurt. It's food. But anyhow, there it is. And one of the main things I always noticed is it looks like a scallop to me. Let me find one here. Like this. Look at this. It looks like a scallop. Like a seashell. And it does kind of taste, you know, taste and smell like it would be a little bit on the aquatic side. But that's a pretty good haul. That'll feed several people, especially if you're a vegetarian like me. I usually just say herbivore. I like fruits and herbs, and this is considered in many old school ancient traditions and thoughts. We always called some of the fungi varieties herbs. So if you're an herbalist, then you would know a lot of the fungi is actually listed as an herb. So with that, I'm Glenn Monroe, Dr. Glenn Monroe, elder, member of Missouri State Senate, and native of the Ozarks. My family been here for a couple hundred years now. So, supposedly I'm descended from Swedes. I don't know what that means. I don't feel Swedish. Swedish Indonesians. But, there you go. So always be responsible when you try to identify this stuff too as well. Because there's several varieties here that look that color, okay? They look that color, that orangish color. But you know the difference when you see it. Like, oh, okay. He said it looks like a scallop. It's got a porous underside that's yellow. I'm talking yellowish. See the porous? Just make sure you positively identify this stuff. Turn it sideways. See the back part of it? That's what it looks like. It's usually white, solid color. Got striations, kind of stringy, bouncy. Smells good. It smells really good. Okay? Because that's that typical fungi smell that I like. That's my favorite smell for fungi. Anyhow, I'm Glim and Ross. See y'all later.